Hey, let's get you live looping with a fixed length measure with both MIDI and real audio from a real instrument. So I'm using the Launchkey Mini and I'm using a Flow 8 mixer and I'm capturing this on OBS, and what I have is one line running out from the mixer into line 1 of the mixer itself, and that's what's the audio is capturing on OBS. So if you want to live stream or record like I'm doing, it works pretty well. There might be a little bit of room noise, but sorry about that. It's my basement. All right, so you want to go to your screen. This is how it opens up with the launch key in there. You might have to open it and close it a few times, but first thing you want to do, let's set our tempo. You can tap it, or you can type into this box. I know what I'm doing today. I want it to be around 100, so I'm going to set the tempo, and then you might not be able to see this on the screen, but if you click edit and then go to record quantization, then that's going to set your live quantization. So if you're using MIDI beats, it's going to sync those up. If you're just a little bit off, then it's going to fix it. So go to edit and then record quantization. I'm going to do eighth notes. And then we're going to create a space here, double click in that first slot, and you can set the length just by clicking down here. I'm going to set that to 2 measures and hit enter, and that's going to create that fixed length for me. And I can do the same thing over here, double click in the slot and under length set it to 2. And now I'm ready to go with that. Those are for my MIDI tracks. So I'm going to put drums in the first one. So with it selected, I go to drums. I find a kit you like. You can audition it, of course. I like this one. So we're going to put that there. Just double click it, or you can drag it over, and then find an instrument for your whatever else you want to play. I'm going to do all right, so I found the bass that I want. It's the 7 bass, and now we're going to work with our real audio. So this is for the guitar. I've got this plugged into just a pedal that simulates an amp. It's the Joyo AC tone. It's kind of a Vox sounding one. No effects, no reverb. You can do all of that if you want. You can even use plugins within Ableton itself, but this is just a pedal going straight in, so very basic. You want to find the looper. So if you look for looper, and by the way, there you have to go to all results and type in looper. By the way, there are multiple ways to accomplish this. This is just an easy way that I figured out. So if you know a better way, leave me a comment and hopefully it'll help some people out. So I'm going to find the looper, drag it over to this spot, and now where it gets a little tricky with the Launchkey Mini, it's going to automatically be able to record these first 2, but the problem is when you're recording a real instrument, it's really helpful to have a foot pedal. So I'm just using a sustain pedal, and we want to map that to this button right here, which is your arm for recording, and otherwise you'd have to click it in order to use this track. And with that selected, the other ones won't work, so that gets a little confusing. So up at the top, and sorry you can't see this, but if you click on options and then edit MIDI map, it's going to highlight everything in blue, and so you want to click this big button in your looper, and then I'm going to push the sustain pedal. It's just a regular plug-in sustain pedal for a keyboard. Push that, and it will, now when I hit that, it's going to arm that track for actually no, it's not going to arm it for recording. It's going to loop it. So that's what's going to loop my track. Now I do still need to arm this. So that big button is for looping. You can use it just like any other looper. You can layer it with this plus sign. It's gonna keep stacking every few measures. So you can set the number of bars here. We're gonna do 2 bars for this. So you can set it to whatever number of bars you need. If you click this, then it's just gonna play after you get through. So it'll get the end of those 2 measures and then it will play it. But with the plus sign, it's gonna keep stacking it. You can use your foot pedal now to start or stop those layers, and we'll see more about that. But we do still need to come over here and, oh, am I in the way? Let me make myself smaller. Okay, so this button right here is gonna arm your track for recording. Click on that, and I'm gonna add a key on my launch key, just the highest C note there. And did it work? There we go. So the highest C note will now arm that track for recording. That's important for making this work. Hit the escape key, and now you, in theory, are ready to go with your first loop. So you need an idea. Now the good thing with the track selected, so I click on track 1, it's going to record that instrument, whatever it is, and so I'm just using the launch key here, and if I'm just a little bit off, that record quantization is going to make it sync up, and you'll see how that works pretty well. So let's now try to get started. All you have to do is click on the record button here with that first track selected. You can also select the track up here, but it might also trigger that playing. So just know if you push this, it's gonna start playing that. So we want to start with this record button. It's going to count us in, and so here we go. I'm going to hit the record button. It's going to count us in. And you see I was a little off in the live version, but it fixed it. Now it's going to let me count in again. It's not going to start recording till the beginning of that measure, the next measure. So I can just go ahead and hit this next track button here, and then I can record my bass part. So hitting that track button. Well, it didn't work. So I have to hit that the next track button, and then press record again in order to get that next loop going. And there we go. Now that's a little loud, so I can come over here and adjust that. Volume, and now I can go to the third track on my launch key. You can also click it, but we can go to that third track, and now I can use the foot pedal. Remember, we have to arm it for recording, so you can either click it, or I made that high C note. I made that high C note trigger to arm that for recording. So if I click that, now you see that it's armed for recording. I can now use my foot pedal to engage this down here. And you want to wait till it's near the end of the loop before you start it, and you should get something like this. All right, so now we're going to add my guitar loop. I'm going to use the foot pedal to start it. You want to wait till near the end of the phrase. You don't have to be exact. near the end of the phrase, near the end of the 2 bars before you hit it. So you can watch the little wheels right here, and they'll show you when it's about to get to the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now it'll stack on whatever I'm doing. Hit the stop button to stop it. Hope this helps you out. Let me know if you have questions. Have fun. Keep playing.